When life gets real, the mic stays warm. Hosted by the dad with lots of charm. Insights are sharp and data's tight. Lance already and the jokes are light. Hot takes, real talk, keeping it true. From high school halls to podcast cues, live a little, learn a lot. Turn it up, this show is hot. Grab your coffee and let's get into it. No filter, no fluff, just real talk. Let's do it. Ready or not, here we go. It's the time for Muffman to start the show.
Welcome to Hot Takes with the Murph Man. How's everybody doing today? Connor, how's my co-host doing?
Doing good. Just having some technical difficulties with the
what?
intro, but we're all
We're
good.
good?
Well, it's still going. Even though I timed it, it's still going.
Okay.
It's from the Ember. Okay. Hello.
Is it done? Let me know when it's done.
Now it's done. Morning.
Welcome to Hot Takes with the Murph Man. I'm here with my co-host, Connor. How are we doing today, C?
Good. How are we doing, Murph man?
I'm doing really good. This is going to be a really interesting episode for us. The topic is always interesting, but for us, this is hopefully, I need some wood.
Okay, well, don't break the floor.
Well, that's the only wood I could find. This will be our last episode here before we move to our new studios next week. So that's what I'm looking forward to. How about you, Connor?
I'm looking forward to it also. You know, something closer to home. Technically, well, literally, yeah, closer to home.
We're going to be in a studio at the house.
Instead of coming all the way over here, taking 10, 20 minutes of our time.
Yeah.
So,
It'd be nice to just get up and go sit down.
yeah.
Not have to drive anywhere or anything. So yeah, it's one of those things that I am really looking forward to the new studio. It's going to be really, really awesome with what we're doing. All right. It's one of those things that you just never know what it's going to hold, because you haven't seen some of the stuff I have planned for it yet. So, we're going to take some of our artwork with us, but it's going to be an amazing studio. So I can't wait for that. How about you? Are you looking forward to it a lot or just a little bit?
Not a lot, but I mean, I'm intrigued.
Well,
I'm a little curious on how it's gonna be.
Yeah,
a different studio.
The table we got, this is 3 feet, by the way. So ours is 2 feet bigger. I thought this was 4 feet. It's 3 feet. So it's 2 feet bigger. It's a lot bigger. I thought I got it just a little bit bigger for us. I got it almost triple. But before I begin, I want to let you all know that we're going to be getting into the podcast in just a little bit. I am the Murph Man. It is my views and my views alone, and of course, Connor's. We're not experts on what we're talking about, and this is an unfiltered show, so some adult language might slip out of our mouths, which is not happening as often as it used to. So if you're ready for a frank discussion, I think it's time we ignite the fuse. What do you think, Connor?
Yes, Murph man, I agree.
Ignorance is not an excuse. Welcome to Hot Takes with the Murph Man. Today, we are discussing academic integrity in college, which is taken very seriously. In high school, you might have gotten a slap on the wrist. In college, academic dishonesty can get you expelled. This episode is about understanding the rules of intellectual honesty so you can succeed with integrity. The fuse is lit. Murph Man, take the mic.
Let's get this started. So, yeah, it's one of those things when you think about academic integrity. What does that really mean to you, Connor? I'm just curious. What do you think that means?
Well, for me, integrity is something a little different from what you're saying it is.
Honesty.
Yeah. That's the way I would bring it.
I think honesty is part of integrity. That's how I look at it. Honesty is being truthful.
Most same as integrity.
Honesty is part of integrity, but integrity is bigger than that. There's more to it than that. When someone stands for something, that is an undeniable truth. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Our media group is named Axiom Media Group, the undeniable truth. Right? That's why I have Axiom Media Group. And it's interesting because we sit here and we talk about academic integrity from a teacher's point of view and not from a student point of view. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone says don't cheat, right?
Yeah.
But they also say don't lie, don't steal, quote unquote, the 10 Commandments, right? We all lie to some extent. We all cheat on some extent. There's a lot of it there. And we always look for the shortcuts as students. Would you agree with me on that? You're always looking for shortcuts.
Yeah.
And by the way, Bo staff, thanks for joining us. And I appreciate all the likes. It's here on TikTok.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was like, who?
He's like Murphicles. Guess who that is?
You.
Coach.
The
guy I work with. So anyway, yeah, the whole point of this is to understand the teachers and the students' point of view. So that's what we're going to be getting into. But is it intentional? Also, that's another thing you have to look at, right? Do you mean to do it? So let's get to the burning question.
All right.
Let's settle this once and for all. Is all plagiarism intentional? Today's question is related to our main topic of academic integrity. Here it is. What is the term for presenting someone else's work or ideas as your own without giving proper credit? Is it A, citation, B, plagiarism, or C, unauthorized collaboration? With the misconception resolved, the foundation is laid, the flames are spreading. Murphman, light up the next segment.
All right. That's what we're talking about here. When you use it, what's the term for presenting someone else's work or ideas as your own without giving credit? Is that called a citation, plagiarism, or unauthorized collaboration?
I would say B, plagiarism.
That's right. That's our flashpoint for today, you guys. It's plagiarism. It's not just copying and pasting. It can also be accidental. Like if you take a sloppy notes and forget where the idea came from. That's why being organized and citing is very important. And, it's one of those things that when you think about a comedian, right? We go to a comedy show. We go to a comedy show or comedy act, and we hear a joke, and we'll repeat it, right? And before you know it, it becomes who we are, a joke, right? And I'll tell you, as a comedian, I hate going to shows because I would get ideas from them and I would change it into my show. And it was my material that we were using, right? Because it was my joke, but it was stemmed from them. And I have a joke. I'm not going to say it here. I'm not going to say it here.
What was that for? You just muted me.
Oh, sorry. Emotional damage. And one of my friends posted a clip with him telling my joke literally word for word. And I wrote him. He goes, "Nah, man, I've heard that. I've had that joke for years." Like, yeah, I have it recorded on video in 2007. And I sent him the clip. I said, "You got it from me, fool." And I was pissed. I was upset because he stole my material. But then at the same time, I think about it. Have I stolen material?
Well, I mean, would you hear it from in 2007?
No, it became my joke. That's my joke.
Then you didn't steal it.
No. I'm talking about as I've stolen stuff over the years. Have I stolen other material without even realizing is what I'm getting at. That joke is my joke. I know that.
Okay. But you're talking about like every other joke you've said in your whole life.
Yeah. There's a joke that we used to say in the military. And actually, how to use the last piece of toilet paper. Right. Maybe I'll make that clip right now. So I'll get some toilet paper on the break, and I'll come back and I'll show everybody that joke. That's not my joke. That's not my joke. It's been running around for years. But we have everyone uses it in the military, right? So I don't know who to give credit to. So I just tell the joke and pretend it's like something came up with, But stealing something from someone else without giving them proper credit is plagiarism. And sometimes we can do it without even meaning to. We end up using stuff. We hear stuff. I'm a counselor. I've heard so many things in all the conferences I've ever gone to. And there's one that it's been quoted in so many movies. I can't even give you who the original quote is, but is good, better, best.
Good,
Never
better,
let it
best.
rest. Your good is better and your better is best. I have no idea where that came from, but it's used in so many different things. Movies. The other day we were watching a movie. I don't remember what we were watching, and he said it. And I said, look at that. It's also in Holy Man with Eddie Murphy. I know I saw that the other day. I saw a clip about that. So we end up using stuff without realizing it belongs to someone else. And we don't know who to give credit to. Okay. So is that still plagiarism? Is it intentional? And the answer is yes, it is still plagiarism because you're stealing from someone else and you don't give credit, right? So how many times have we quoted Hamlet or Shakespeare, I should say, and we say things that he said and we don't give anyone credit for that, right? So when we're doing this, you got to really ask yourself, when you're writing a college paper, you have to go to the original sources. And what's interesting about that is I'm going to tell you about what I did when I started, okay? But I'll tell you what, let's get to today's hot take and go from there.
Ignorance is not an excuse. Today's hot take is, in high school, cheating might get you a 0. In college, academic dishonesty can get you expelled. The stakes are infinitely higher, and I didn't know is not an excuse. Murph Man, it's your turn to fan the flames.
That's right. Let's read that again, you guys. It says, in high school, cheating might get you a 0. In college, academic dishonesty can get you expelled. You don't realize that. It's a lot more serious in college than it is in high school. A lot more serious. In college, in high school, you're expected to cheat. Teachers know that. In college, you're expected not to cheat because you're learning your skill that you're going to for the rest of your life. And if you start lying and cheating at that point, what ends up happening?
You just don't know what you're doing
Yeah.
when you graduate.
Right. And I'll tell you, when I was in grad school, my subject was which gender had the fastest thinking and processing power, women or men? And I used a thing called the Stroop effect. Now, you guys can go look it up. The Stroop effect is really interesting. And what it is you read a word in one color ink. Like say you have the word blue in the ink color, green. You've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to give the ink color. So your brain actually processes the word, but you have to process it and then understand you're looking at the ink. And even if you try just like looking at the middle of each word and say, I'm just going to look at the colors, your brain's still reading the word. So it interferes. And that's interference. That's the term that they use in the study that I was making. And interference started by, I think, James Cattell. I know I'm quoting that because I wasn't planning on talking about that, but I think it's James Cattell in 1935 in Mind magazine. That's what it was called. I actually went and found his original article. And then I looked at all his citations, and we'll talk about what the citations are in a little bit. And I saw all the different places he went to get his data. I was looking at stuff back into the 1800s when psychology started. And I was actually looking at the original documents. Well, like photofilm or photofish, whatever it's called, microfiche. You don't know what that is, do you?
No. You never heard of microfiche?
Okay. You know how we scan PDFs nowadays?
Yeah.
Well, we would scan books and put them in film, and we'd have pictures of each page.
Oh.
And you would scroll through the film looking for the page you're looking for. You spin it, and it was page 35, and you would have it on your screen.
Yeah, I've never heard of that in my life. I've never heard of microfiche.
I'm not even making fun of you because that's just old stuff. I'm telling you, that's some old school stuff. Then microfiche.
Is it like fish, like FISH, or like
FICHE?
Oh,
because it's microfilm, but it literally is just pictures of the book pages. So anyway, I was looking at the original documents everything was created on.
Oh.
And I went back all the way to 1800s. Now, obviously, they didn't have this technology in 1800s. They wrote the book back then, and then we updated it now, right? Just like now we can actually go get the original book and scan it into the internet.
Yeah, like
or upload it, right?
Yeah.
That's how that works. Okay. Anyway, so I went to the original document, found out who he was researching from. And I actually was able to get the original book checked out from the library from 1935.
Ooh.
And I went, I opened the book. It was all breaking and everything. I felt bad even opening it. But I took a picture of the actually with a real camera. We didn't have phones back then. Oh, we did actually. But
not like camera phones.
Yeah. And I took a picture of the actual book. And I thought it was so cool when I did the paperwork. I just added that to the back of the page. I said, check this out. I wrote to the teacher, check this out. And he called. He's like, you actually went and found the original book where that was from? Yes. That's not just honesty. That's the integrity of when I was saying something, it really had weight behind it. Because the experiences that I have as a counselor, when I talk to people and I give them advice and I talk to them about different things, it has a lot of weight because of the experiences I have. And they know I have a lot of experience. So I can tell you the truth, but I can also look at things and see things in a different way because of my experiences. But I'll tell you what, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. And for those of you watching on TikTok, we will be right back.
It's time for a break. Hot Takes with the Murph Man will return after these messages.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard, MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Quack.
Program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
The web at MB Radio.
According to the VA's suicide data report, an average of 22 veterans die by suicide every single day. This figure is a sobering reality and a crisis that demands our immediate attention and compassion. We must recognize and address the fact that every 24 hours, 22 veterans are losing their lives to suicide. The war doesn't always end when our veterans come home. The invisible wounds they carry, wounds that are real and heavy, require continuous support. No veteran should have to carry this burden alone. Many veterans experience stress and disconnection as they navigate life after service. But there is hope, there is help, and you are not alone in this fight. There's a vibrant community ready to support you, offering friendship, understanding, and shared experiences. You served your country, now let us serve you. Don't fight the toughest battle in silence. Your mission now is to reach out. Dial 988, then press 1. Text them at 838255. The Veterans Crisis Line is available 24/7. Every day, we save lives. Your life is invaluable, and your service is honored. Let's work together to make 22-0 again. No veteran should face their struggles alone. Together, we can ensure every veteran finds the support and hope they deserve.
He gets help, but he still feels off. Sees an ad on the TV about a dog batting said, this is a man's best friend. Whoa, so he goes one day and he picks it up. Never thought a dog could bring so much love and put a smile on his face. But he's finally found a saving grace. He needs help, but he don't know the path to take or the way to go to be free. Put his mind at ease. We will help 'cause we can't stand to see a soldier go to God by their own hands. We will do everything we can to make 22-0 again.
All right, you guys, we are back. Connor was nice enough to go and look up the definition of honesty and integrity. So what is the definition of honesty versus integrity, Connor?
For honesty, it's telling the truth, being sincere and frank. And then for integrity, it's the adherence to strong morale and ethical principles.
So that's moral and ethical principles. Now, ethical is one of those things that is a professional code. Okay, not so much for students. Students is, it's cheating, but we have ethics in the field, and we have to follow these certain standards. So that's where the integrity comes from, and understanding is more than just telling the truth. Okay, we follow those moral and ethical standards. So thank you for the definition. I appreciate it.
Okay.
When we're talking about the plagiarism and everything, when I was writing my papers in college, I would talk about things that I knew from my experience. And I had so many teachers write, "This is plagiarism." Like, who's doctor, who's therapist, where'd you get all this stuff from? I said, that was from me. And it was because in the Army, I was a counselor in the Army for 9 years, and I had a lot of experience. And even when we were in school, I don't know, I told you how I got into grad school, right? I failed the GRE.
No.
Graduate record exam. You need to have a certain score, just like an SAT score. But graduate schools, they require a certain score, and I scored below that. And I went to the college, and I went to register, and the guy's like, your score is below our minimum standard. I said, look, man, I was a counselor in the Army. I just need a master's degree so I can practice it in the real world. And he looked at me like, counseling, how, really, whatever. I said, I'll tell you what, ask me anything about psychology. And then I also pulled out all my CLEP testing, where I tested out of every single psychology course, including normal psychology, which most teachers couldn't pass. Most therapists would have a hard time doing it. I passed it. Talked to this guy for like 2 hours. After the end, we were done. I was actually talking to all the teachers, but primarily him, and they let me in the program. So whenever I would write a story, they would ask me, did this really happen? I'm like, yeah, this is my life story. This is something that I've seen. It's not like I read it in a book and I adopted it to myself. I literally went in there and I was able to see or write about things that I have personally seen. So teachers didn't believe that. They couldn't believe it. They're like, you're just a student. Some people have life experience before they even get to that point. And for example, we had people come into the program that had been in therapy for years, that had some bad stuff happen to them, had PTSD. They could talk about that from their own experience. How am I supposed to say that's not a real story? So,
well, I mean, you don't expect it from a college student.
Exactly.
So it's like.
So let me tell you.
Yeah.
We're talking about plagiarism and academic integrity. One thing that I teach Spanish, and right now I'm covering a Spanish class, and we have a list of, like, say, 10 words I like, and you have to give these foods. 10 foods, right? Someone comes in and says, I like lobster. That's not one of our words, you know what I mean? So they're not even reading the assignment. They're just using a translator, So I have to go in there and say, I think you're using a translator. Come talk to me. Prove to me what you're saying. Tell me you can say the words, and we can go from there. And it's been really interesting this week because kids are turning in assignments, and I'm grading them, and they're doing pretty good, But a lot of the assignments we have to do are actual voice activities. They have to say the words, and they have to record themselves saying it.
Yeah, I'd honestly drop out that class.
It's a requirement. 2 years of foreign language. It's a requirement. But
I'd drop out the school.
Because we're virtual, we have to do it that way.
Yeah.
They can come see us in person too, like on camera. But I think, okay, I can put this. We tend to know what students are capable of. I've been doing this for 25 years. I know what students at that level are capable of. I've been doing psychology counseling for 35 years. So when you talk about psychology, I know what you know about psychology, right?
Yeah.
So when I talk to someone and they're full of it, I can pretty much tell right away, right? If it's a high school kid writing something, a high school kid writing a Spanish paper, or someone talking about psychology, and oh, I know about everything. Do you? And I'm cocky, but I know psychology. You know what I mean? And as I'm talking here, we're talking about the people just want to get through college and not do the work. We see headlines about AI and we see the pressure, but hear this. The biggest mistake you will make in college is believing that professors want you to fail the integrity test. We don't, but we have to make sure you pass it. Because if I pass you, I'm saying you know my material. You never thought of it that way, huh?
No.
You're like, they're just here to teach. Who cares? Well, in high school, there's this testing that Texas uses called the STAR test. And the teachers were teaching the STAR test. And, it's a big debate. I'm not even going to get into it. But in college, you have to pass a certain amount of testing and everything to show that you know the subject to be able to graduate my class. And at the end of the semester, or at the end of the 4 years when you're graduating, some programs require like research papers and everything. And then in grad school, you have what you call a dissertation or a comprehensive exam. Every college, every program has a different thing. But when you become a doctor, you have to write a book, and you have to go before a board of professionals, and you have to they dissect you, like little stuff. Like they can literally go to on page 85. You use this word. What did you mean? You don't have your book. You have your brain. So we have to test to make sure you really know what you're doing, right? So it's one of those things that in college, we don't want people to fail, but we don't want you to use AI either. We want you to be able to know what you're talking about and be able to learn that. So before we go on, let's talk about some of the key terms that we're going to discuss today in our section called Laying Down the Coals.
Understand the rules of the game. Before we dig in, let's clarify some of the key terms we'll be using today while laying down the coals. Plagiarism. Presenting someone else's work or ideas as your own without giving proper credit. Citation. This is how you give credit. It's the practice of quoting or referring to your sources of information. Academic honor code. This is the set of rules or ethical principles governing academic behavior at your specific school. Now that the coals are laid, Murph Man, let's discuss the foundation.
All right, so plagiarism, we've been talking about presenting someone else's work, intentionally or unintentionally. Citation is citing at the bottom of the page or within the paragraph who said what. Like, according to Murphy, this is right. And then at the bottom, you have to say who Murphy is and Murphy et al., this book, this, whatever. And then academic honor code. Every school has that academic honor code. We have a certain part of the catalog that talks about cheating and being responsible and things that are acceptable or not acceptable in classes. When I teach, I want everyone to learn. I'm not big about testing, but I have to test to prove you know it. All right. Right now, when we're on the break, Connor's like, that is not something I would do good with. And what do you mean by what were you referring to?
Like if I did a paper or something and they would test me like on just a random like sentence picked out. Okay. Like what you said with the 87, you said this word. What do you mean by that? And have no context because I might use that word like multiple times.
Well, it
might be like used
specific idea. It's a specific idea. It's not just like you use the word to.
No. But like I use like a vocabulary word that's not like common, I guess.
Yeah.
But I've used it multiple times in different ways, and it's not what I would think,
Right.
So If I had the sentence, yeah, but just the word
Well,
itself,
they
I
might
just
say a few words or a sentence, but the point I was making is they can just dissect down to the
yeah,
word.
I can't.
You
No.
you said they were high in potential, not low in potential. That one word makes a whole difference in the meaning. That's what I was referring to. That one word. But every doctorate out there, everyone who has a PhD has to do papers like this. So when you meet someone who has a PhD, they're supposed to be an expert in something. That's what they did a degree on. Mine was trauma. That was my specialty. I was great with trauma and helping kids and adults with counseling, dealing with traumatic events. But right now, I think it's time we hear the story from the fire and hear what David had to say about this. Here's a story from the fire.
The risk is never worth it. David is under pressure to finish a history paper. He copy-pastes a few paragraphs from a website, thinking he'll go back and rephrase them later. He forgets, submits the paper, and gets flagged by plagiarism detection software. He ends up in a hearing with the Academic Integrity Board and gets a 0 on the paper, which tanks his GPA and destroys his relationship with that professor. That was a story from the fire. Murph Man, are you feeling the heat?
The risk is never worth it, you guys. David is under pressure to finish this history paper. He copy-pastes a few paragraphs from our website thinking he'll go back and rephrase them or cite them later, and he forgets. He submits the paper and plagiarism software detects it. Now he's in front of the board defending why he was cheating, why he was plagiarizing. Now, I'm going to tell you a personal story that I had in my grad program. I was taking multicultural studies, and I forgot what my paper was on. And I went to my teacher, and I gave him my paper. And let me borrow the paper here, Con. I gave him the paper. I said, here you go, And he looks at it, he goes like this. He goes, that feels like a C. Like I didn't put enough work into it. That feels like a C. I said, give it back to me. Let me see what I can do. I was pissed. So I went and I found articles that were about the subject I had, and I literally typed them and pasted it because you can't cut and paste on a computer into the document I was using, word for word, completely copied. But I did one thing that made it okay. What was that?
I don't know.
I cited.
You cited. Oh, okay.
I gave them all the credit. So anyway, I turned in my paper, and by the time I'm done, it's 108 pages, including all the citations I have, right?
Oh, God.
And I get an A in the class. And I say, hey, so what'd you think of my paper? He goes, I didn't read it. He says, I was being a smart ass when I told you it was a C. And then when I got the 108 pages, I was like, I'm not even going to bother. Just give the guy an A. But yeah, I wrote a 108-page paper. That's pretty much a book. What do you think about the size of the pages and everything?
I could barely write one page. Damn.
Well, when you go to grad school and you take more classes, you advance, you got to write more stuff. And it's about stuff you like and everything. So you'll be able to write more. You don't look at it so much as a chore, right?
Yeah.
But you're talking about something that you like a lot. And that's the thing about college. You're in school because you're choosing to be there and you want to learn the subject they're teaching. So you tend to be more open to it and try and do better than you would have in high school, if that makes any sense.
A little bit.
So in college, for all of you who've been in college, if you want to call into our show, by the way, you can reach out to us at 915-201-0887. I'd love to hear your story on what your experiences were when you came to talk about college and everything. If you guys want to call in, I'd be happy to talk to everybody. It's one of those things that I love hearing stories. I love having guests, talking about stuff. So the number again is 915-201-0887. If you guys want to call in, we want to hear what you got to say. But you go to college, you want to be there, you're paying for it, you tend to be a little more serious about it. You just finished your semester. Friday, you had your last test yesterday.
Yeah.
How was it, your first semester in college?
Tiring.
Tiring? Why?
Something new, and not used to the work I was, because the work is very like really different than in high school. It's a lot more, and it goes into more detail. So it's like, ooh,
A lot more detail.
yeah.
You know, we were talking one time about the psychology of stuff, and you talked about you had to do a paper on a flashlight, right? That's what you guys were doing a project.
A project, yeah. Not we did a prototype, not a
okay.
paper.
And I talked about how you hold the flashlight, whether it's gonna be like this, or you're gonna hold it with your thumb or whatever, right?
Mhm.
Did any of that get to you and your friends? Did you like go and tell them, hey, which flashlight we're gonna do? Or you just said, just do the flashlight?
It was just this.
A regular flashlight.
Yeah.
But you didn't address the different angles for buttons and everything.
I talked about the grip on how you hold it.
Okay. That's
On our prototype, we had a flashlight, like you know the Dollar Tree like flashlights, like the ones that break easily, like from a foot.
Yeah.
We redesigned it and 3D printed another model of it that was like kind of longer and had a thicker handle. But on the handle, we had rings on the handle. And I don't know if you think that's weird or not.
No, because it gives you better grip.
How does it give you better grip?
It doesn't slide between your fingers.
Because it curves on the finger, yeah. So no one, even the teacher was like, I never thought about like this. Like even students in the class, they were like, it looks weird, right? I'm like, hold it. They hold it, it's like, oh wow, it just perfect. I'm like, yeah, that's one thing we wanted to do for customers is have a better grip so it doesn't slip out.
You know, you talk about better grip, and we're gonna talk about the little pew-pews. And you can actually have a grip made to your hand.
Well,
and mold it to your hand. How much more accurate would that be? You think about that, right? If it's molded to your hand, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
One of the things that I'm going to ask you right now is, and I know you're not going to know the answer, but we have flashlights around the house, and I have 7 different flashlights in case the power ever goes out. Right? Where are they? Any idea?
What type of flashlight?
Just a flashlight. I have one in the bedroom on the shelf. I have one by the bed. I have one at my desk. I have one in the drawer here. I have one in the kitchen, and I have one in the living room. You never know where you're going to be when the light goes out. And another thing that we do, and I know you don't think about it, but we tend to walk around in the dark. I turn the lights off, and you're like, I can't see.
Well, once in a while.
Right. But that's sort of me training you to be in our house in the dark.
Yeah.
If you ever need to be in the dark, you know, like say someone's in the house and you have to call 911.
Okay.
That's a good story, dude.
No.
Because it was real. It was real.
I know it was real. I was there.
Someone was in the house.
I know.
People are watching going, why is he laughing at someone being in the house? It wasn't my brother. I came to pick up something and he didn't know, and he freaked out. Called 911. But yeah, you know, understanding your environment and everything is, you know, that's just one of those things. But keeping a flashlight everywhere. You don't think about, everyone has one flashlight in their kitchen drawer or whatever. I have 7 because I don't know which room I want to be when the power goes out.
Yeah, I never knew that.
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
You have 7?
I'll show you when we get back home.
No, I'm good.
You know,
I'm okay.
Okay. You know, but with the terms we're talking about and the story, let's talk about the direction we want you to go with this academic integrity. We call that our section called the heat map. And give me a sec. I'm going to pull that up in just a little bit. Here's the heat map.
It's time for
Cite everything. Save your degree. Here is the heat map to avoid getting into trouble. Read and understand your school's academic honor code. Ignorance is not an excuse. When taking notes, clearly distinguish between your own ideas and information you get from sources. When in doubt, cite it. It is always better to oversight than to plagiarize. The map is drawn. Back to Murphman for the next segment.
That's right, you guys. So when you think about it, when taking notes, distinguish between your own ideas and information you get from sources. If you hear something in class and write a quote around it so you know someone said it and try to remember who, you know. And it's always better to oversight than to plagiarize. I just told you a story about me citing 108 pages. Let's just say maybe 42 pages or something, half of it, a third of it. I cited everything. That's not illegal. That's what's so crazy about this. It's not illegal. I gave them all credit, But in college, it's different when you're citing because you're expected to know who you're citing. You don't just go in there and, the teacher asked me for 3 citations. Here's the 3 citations, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. In college, they're going to ask you, where'd you get those citations from? What did you see? What did you learn? And that's what's really cool about all this is you learn it better. Now, there's different formats. Have you ever heard of any kind of formats for citing?
Well, what do you mean citing? Like
MLA and APA?
Well, yeah, but it's not for citing. I mean, that's just a format for the whole essay itself.
Right, but it teaches you how to cite. That's part of it.
I guess.
Okay. And when you have to learn APA style or MLA style, it's actually like little differences. Like you have to put this comma space one, I hated citations. I'll tell you right now. If I had my computer now doing what I did back then and ask AI for citations, I wouldn't trust AI for the citations. As much as I use AI, I wouldn't use it for citations. We're going to talk about that a little bit when we get to the digital inferno, but yeah, just don't trust technology when you're talking about citations, you guys. It's not worth it, But that was our heat map. Gives you the actionable steps that you need to take and you can use right now. The fire's not out yet. When we return from break, we're going to go talk about things where you can get burned, the shields to protect yourself from getting burned, and some reflections that we're going to be talking about after the break. We'll be right back.
It's time for a break. Hot Takes with the Murph Man will return after these messages.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Quack.
Program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
The web at MB Radio.
Take a moment, take your time, let it set right. Let it drive right down in your conscious tide. Lean into the better times. 'Cause in a minute, in a moment, you'll notice a shining light. One that draws you in from deep inside. Reach out and connect tonight. Colors do you see?
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at mbradio.net.
All right, and we are back, you guys. That was the heat map we just finished talking about. Now, before we get back to the show, I want to talk about Hot Takes with the Murph Man, what we do. We stream live every Saturday. Let me start all over.
We stream every Saturday live.
Yeah. We stream every Saturday live at 12 p.m. Eastern on Military Broadcast Radio, on Pure Hot Takes at Twitch and YouTube, TikTok. And you can catch all our replays on stream915.com, including our premium content, stuff you cannot find behind the scenes. You'll get clips on studios, but you're not going to be able to see any other live clips. You want to see the full clips, you got to go get a subscription at stream915.com. You can go to purehottakes.com and get the code for a discount. All right. It's pretty cool. You know, if I can get, let me see here. If I can get 1,000 followers by next week.
On what?
TikTok. Because right now I'm at 750.
Yeesh. I think I'm at like 5.
What I'll do is for the 1,000th person, I will buy 2 months of stream915.com for you guys. All right.
For all of them or just that one person?
The 1,000th person.
Okay.
Whoever the 1,000th person is.
I was like, oh, wow.
I'm not rich, dude.
That's why I was like,
Connor's
whoa.
like, wait, do we have money I don't know about?
Yeah, I was like, you hiding it from me or what?
You know, yeah, on TikTok, if I get to 1,000 followers, I will give that person 2 free months of stream915.com. And I'll even bring you on my show. How's that?
If they want to.
Imagine me bringing like a bot or a spammer.
I know. It's like one of those is like, come meet me 5 miles away. You've never had those spam?
Oh, I have.
Okay, then yeah. So have I. Since middle school. Instagram. Sean.
Roblox, yeah.
No. Don't say that. Not anymore.
No, not anymore. But yeah,
You leave him out of this. That sounds bad. That sounds really bad.
You're the one who said it, not me.
That sounds so bad.
You want to clarify for the audience?
There's a YouTuber that was he was catching like people talking to minors on Roblox, but then Roblox decided to ban the YouTuber. I forgot for what, but we got mad because we were just like, why'd you ban him? And he was helping us out. But yeah, that sounded so bad. That sounded really bad. Yeah, his name was Schlep.
Schlep?
Yeah, SCHLEP. Yeah. Yeah. He got banned for Roblox for violating rules, e.g., exposing predators.
God forbid.
God forbid.
Right.
Oh man, wow. God forbid.
Well, you know, the thing with like Chris Hansen, they had Chris Hansen's a reporter that had to catch a predator. You know, the whole thing where people would come and meet a person at the house and he'd be there with the reporters.
I'm thinking
so many people's careers were ruined because of that, and people killed themselves because of that. That's unfortunate that happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, just one of those things that, you know, exposing predators became an issue, even though they shouldn't be predators in the first place. I hate that. But anyway, that'll completely get us off track here. But if we get to 1,000 followers, I want to, you know, give you guys 2 months of stream915.com, and I will get you your, what's it called? Get you to come on my show if you want to do that. We'd be happy to have you. All right. But let's get back to the show and let's talk about where you're going to get burned. What does that mean, Connor?
Where you get burned?
Okay.
Sorry, I had to.
Smart ass. So when you're younger, your parents always tell you, don't touch that because it's going to hurt you. It's going to burn you. It's going to be something, right?
Yeah, but I still did.
And you still did. So when did you learn not to touch the fire?
when I decided not to make eggs anymore.
People are not going to understand that reference, Connor. You got to explain that.
Well, I'm going to.
Go ahead.
But I don't know if you got it. I was like, what, 7 or 8?
Probably like 2.5.
No.
Yes, because you stood on the oven door.
No, I stood on the
You
stool
stood
that
on
we
the-
had.
No, you stood on the oven door.
It was the tiny. I'm telling you, I know what I stepped on. It was like the tiny step stool, I guess.
Oh,
was like,
that's right.
That was like literally like 2 or 3 steps. Literally just boom, boom. That's it. I'm at the top.
Hold on.
Yeah, I'm like oven door.
Hold on. That's right.
What are you talking about?
There was a time you tried cooking eggs. You stood on the oven door, but the one you're talking about with the steps. His mom was short, like 4'10", 4'11". So she needed a step stool to go anywhere in the cabinets.
And I used it for fun.
So anyway, what happened?
I was making eggs, and I don't know how, but I burned my wrist on the skillet, like on the pan. Was it a metal pan or was it like iron?
No, it's
cast?
plastic.
No, but iron cast or
it's just a metal pan. It was just a pan.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know.
So you're talking about the time you got burned.
Yeah.
Okay.
I never decided to make eggs after that. Till later on when I was
when you were 2.5, we were in the bedroom on Sunday morning, resting like we always did. And all of a sudden we hear the clicking of the oven, click, 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 click. And we realized you were turning on the oven. So we ran over there and you were standing on the oven door trying to turn on the gas in the stove. So
did I turn it on?
No. But years later, that's right, you did burn yourself trying to cook an egg. But that was a little different because we tried teaching you how to do it, just because you wanted to learn this,
And I burned my wrist for like 4 days.
Yeah, it's a little bad. But
it wasn't like hurting, like bleeding. It was just
it was just what? I thought you were going to finish your sentence. I'm like, it's like, all right, we're done. Like, hold on.
I was showing you. That's why I was like, let me put my like sleeve down.
You stop in the middle of a sentence.
No, I'm like, wait, hold on. Let me just like show you. God damn.
All right, go.
So again, right here, literally like at the wrist. Shut up. I'm not even gonna. I look gay. I saw it. I was like this. I was like showing. I'm like, oh my god.
Finish the story.
Okay, where the jacket is. Okay, the little sleeve right here. That's where I burned myself, and it was like this big of a burn on my wrist. It wasn't major. It was just like a little brown spot. That was it. Just a line.
It burned you. I mean, it hurts. Any burn's gonna hurt you.
It was like a first degree. What the?
Well, yeah, a first degree burn is a sunburn. Did you know that?
Oh,
because you have layers of skin. First degree is your top layer. That's why it's called a sunburn. That's first degree burn. The second degree burn is a little deeper, and the third degree burn has blisters.
Change it to yellow. One more.
All right.
There we go. Sorry, I saw that. I was like, is that mine?
Okay. Anyway, sorry. Where are you gonna get burned? The whole story that we got completely sidetracked.
Back to topic.
As the parent, you always tell your kids, don't touch anything. You'll learn when you finally get burned. That's how you remember stuff. And your body remembers stuff that you don't remember consciously. And I'll give you an example. Have you ever stubbed your toe on something?
Yeah.
And every time you walk by that place you stub your toe, you tend to move your foot out of the way unconsciously.
Yeah.
Without even realizing it. You're doing it.
Yeah.
So your body learns before your brain does. And that's why getting burned affects you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I still stubbed my toe. Same spot.
Well, eventually you're going to forget. Okay. But right now you're going, yeah. You remind me of that meme with the stupid dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking the same time, like, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot. I think it was like a puppet, no?
No. It was a guy talking to, we're going to go to the store. Yeah. And then we're going to get this. Yeah. Anyway. But let's talk about the show and what things can get you burned in our segment called
Where You Get Burned.
Where You'll Get Burned.
Avoid the academic integrity traps. Here are a few pitfalls to avoid. Avoid accidental plagiarism from sloppy note-taking by keeping your research organized. Don't assume that if it's on the internet, it's free to use. All sources must be credited. And with new tech, don't use an AI tool to write your paper for you. This is plagiarism. Use AI for brainstorming or outlining only if it is explicitly permitted. Now that the danger zone has been identified, let's get back to Murphman for the warning.
So you want to avoid academic integrity traps, such as avoid accidental plagiarism, right? Sloppy note-taking and keeping your research organized. By doing that, you'll avoid the sloppy plagiarism. Don't assume that if it's on the internet, it's free to use. It's not. If you go look at any papers, you go look at the very bottom, it'll say like a number 1, number 2 next to the word. Have you ever seen that? As you're reading something, it says number 1. You go to the very bottom of the page, you have all the citations and where they're getting that information, where they're citing them from. Yeah. So just because it's on the internet doesn't mean it's free to use. And with the very new tech that we have available to us, don't use an AI tool to write your paper for you. Okay, that is one of those things that will get you in trouble if you get caught.
Well, I mean, there's other AI apps for you not to get caught.
Even that can be caught.
Surprisingly, most of the time, no.
Okay.
I learned from experience in high school.
Okay, but even in the last 2 years, the technology has gotten so much better.
Yeah, but you have to pay for everything, and I'm like, ugh.
Teachers will pay for it.
Yeah, that's teachers.
The college pays for mine.
Yeah, because you're a teacher, and yeah, but for students though, I'm like, I don't want to start a few trials and then get $30 a week. God.
Here, this is related to, well,
is it related?
It is more of our digital inferno. Can you remind me to talk about your student email? Can you remind me about that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I won't talk about that right now.
Well, not right now, but yeah.
Okay. But yeah, AI plagiarism checkers, there's a lot of this information out there, right? And you might get caught, you might not, but you don't want to risk it. That's the whole point here. Because how would you feel if you got kicked out of UTEP? Where else are you going to go to college? And when you apply to another college, you got to tell them, hey, I got kicked out of UTEP because I was a cheater.
EPCC?
You can't get a 4-year degree from EPCC, from community college.
Yeah, you need the 2 years now. Oh, no.
You can't.
Can you? Oh.
No. You can get an associate's degree, not a bachelor's degree.
Oh, associate, yeah.
Okay. But you still got to tell me you're a cheater.
Oh, yeah.
It's not worth the risk. It's not. But I do want Connor to tell you one way he cheated in a class, which I think is hilarious as a teacher and as a father. Connor's teacher told him, you cannot use paper notes. Like, don't bring your notes with you.
There's no notes. It's not open. It's whatever you know. It's what you know.
So what'd you do, Connor?
I was studying and I wrote on my arm, all over my palm, my forearm. Like, you pull my sleeve, and you would think it's like a tattoo, right? Nope, it's literally just anions on like charges of elements. Yeah, it was.
So he gets home and he has all this writing on his arms. I'm like, what is that? He goes, my notes. For what? He goes, we had a test today. He honestly, he did not think that was cheating. He just says, she told me no paper notes. I'm not using paper notes.
Yeah, I'm using skin notes.
Yeah, skin notes. And yeah, he honestly, he did not realize that was cheating. But at the same time, I got to give you credit for that. For example, there's that one meme where the teacher says, write me a story about a movie that you've seen. And the guy writes back and says on his paper, I can't talk about it. First rule of the movie is don't talk about it. Fight Club. And she goes, I debated really hard how to give you credit for this. And technically you've reviewed the movie, right? So she gave him credit. I don't know if I'm that lenient, but it's AI is used for so many things, you guys. You don't realize if we catch you with it, we can kick you out of the program. It's like that serious. Okay. And it was funny because, let me, I want to, I didn't think about doing this, but since we're talking about it, let me go open my syllabus for college. You're like, why? I'll tell you right now. Give me a sec.
Yeah, my teachers were lenient on AI because they didn't really mention it this semester. Because I guess they kind of expected it from us since we just came out of high school. But hoping next semester is more, like, yeah.
Well, you're in college next semester, so I hope you're not cheating on that. Because maybe your teachers are listening to you right now and they're going to be like, ooh, I need to go check his papers. But
I'm good on papers. I'm a citizen.
ICE isn't going to come and get you?
Oh, did you see what the White House posted?
No.
Oh, dude, go on like later on in a break or something. Oh God, it was funny. Well, it's not funny. It's messed up, but it's funny because that's my sense of humor, But hold on, let me just find it, and then I'll show you. But the White House has like an Instagram page to talk about Trump or like whatever.
Right.
And hold on, let me just show you. I don't want to bring politics into this, but it's funny. What were we talking about where I had to bring this in?
I don't know, because you're going on a completely different subject.
Very, very different.
That's stupid.
That's really and then
so say what it says.
Look at the caption.
I can't just say it.
So the White House on Instagram posted, when was it? 16 hours ago, the Grinch movie, like Jim Carrey, the poster, but instead of like the Grinch, How He Steals Christmas, it's how the illegal stole healthcare. And there's someone getting handcuffed by ICE. And then in the caption, it says, hate, 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 double hate, loathed entirely. I was like, no. There's
okay. I'll say that's funny, but that's not funny. And I'm not going to get into it. Okay.
It's
all right.
It was just something I just thought of. I'm like, oh.
So going back to the subject, sorry for the detour we took there.
Sorry. I have ADHD and we tend to
go
off topic.
In my college syllabus, I wrote my AI statement. And I'm going to read it to you right now, okay? This statement is written with the assistance of ChatGPT. ChatGPT and other platforms are AI language models that are designed to generate human-like responses based on the input it receives. Blah, 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 blah. Using ChatGPT inappropriately can include unintentional plagiarism. If you rely solely on ChatGPT for generating content without proper citation, it can lead to plagiarism. Here are some guidelines. You may use ChatGPT as a tool for inspiration, idea generation, or support rather than relying on it to complete an assignment.
Yeah, rather.
It is important to critically evaluate the generated content to ensure originality and accuracy. And remember that your academic journey is an opportunity to develop, showcase your own ideas, insights, and critical thinking. Relying solely on an AI platform for content generation hinders the cultivation of your unique voice and intellectual growth. Strive to balance the benefits of AI technologies with your own originality and creativity. And it goes on a little bit. That's that statement, that's one of my first times I actually used AI. And I've actually edited it a few times since, right? But I had a friend of mine, she's like, I got to write a paper about some kind of art project. And I have no idea where to start. And I said, go to ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever and ask it, what do I do? Right?
Yeah.
And it'll say, here's some ideas. Now, at the same time, it also gives you It also gives you the, I lost my train of thought here, the citations of where it gets the information from. Don't just assume those are correct citations.
Yeah, I was gonna say like double back and check.
When I do that, part of my prompt, we talked about prompts a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Part of my prompts are, it says, do not, or go ahead and remove citations because I know where the information came from because I have to go look for it for myself. You know, for my schedule development, I actually went into AI and I asked it to help me rewrite my assignments. And I said, pretend you're a college student learning psychology, and this is what you're going to be tested on. Now I'm the teacher, and I want to make sure you understand the assignment better. What suggestions do you have? And it gave me ideas. And I took the ideas and I said, I like this, I don't like this. And, you know, before you know it, I had really well-written assignments, you know. And then I said, I need my grading rubrics for it. And it gave me my grading rubrics. So that was pretty cool too. I would say probably about 60% is AI generated. What do you think about that?
Wow.
What do you think about me saying 60% of my activities are AI generated?
I don't know, kind of BS that you use AI and that they can't.
Right. But that's the thing. When I suggested it, I said, I need this, and this. Write it for me. Right. It's just using my sentences in better format because I'm talking to it.
Okay, well, people could do that, write a whole essay, but then change it to AI to make it sound more professional and maybe add words. Like
that's what Grammarly does.
Not make it sound professional. Grammarly is just grammar. I mean,
but it'll change the word. If you say, I will want or something, it'll correct the phrasing in the sentence.
Well, but I mean, like, put this in, like, from the whole essay that I write, just add this into it and make it sound more professionalized instead of just you writing it.
Right. So if I say it's written 60% by AI, but it is 90 to 95% my ideas.
Yeah, I would get confused without context. Yeah.
Well, because it's in my head. I just don't type it. It types it for me. I've told you, you guys, using AI is amazing. All right. The class that I have right now, Spanish, the teacher that was working there, she left unexpectedly, and we don't have any access to her notes or anything. So I have no idea how she graded papers or whatnot. And, you know, the assignments actually come with rubrics inside of them when we're doing virtual. I went and I put in, here are the notes for this section. Here's the grading rubric I have. Give me what I call a feedback template that says, this is how good or how bad you did. And I can, you know, scale and delete the words I don't want to use. And that's how I'm taking care of my templates. You know, the information is there already. I'm just having AI combine it. So is that more AI or more the notes?
Notes, but with addition of
but
AI.
It's 100 AI written, 100% AI written. So see, it's how you use it. That's the point here. You
Yeah.
can use AI, but where does the original idea come from?
Yourself.
Okay, that's the difference. I'm not stealing someone else's idea. I don't go up there and say, you know, Connor's, I want to do a paper on a flashlight because Connor's idea was to have a grip with bumps on it. That's his idea. I can't use it. Right?
Yeah.
That's the one difference here. So where did it originate from? I told you when I was doing my grad paper, I went all the way back to the 1800s.
Yeah.
Okay. And actually, look up Interference in Mind magazine.
In Mind magazine?
M-I-N-D.
Mind?
Yeah, 1935. I'm just wondering.
Interference in Mind magazine.
Yeah, 1935.
Okay.
Does it quote anyone or give you a name?
Hold on. Let's see what AI says. Well, the first thing, communication cache, classical text in psychology, Stroop, by J.R. Stroop, interference or inhibition, in parentheses, the terms seem to have been used almost, what the hell? No. Yeah, the phrase interference in mind in a 1935 context likely refers to the influential psychology paper, Studies of Interference in Serial Verbal Reactions, published by J. Ridley Stroop in the Journal of Experimental Psychology.
Okay, and then now ask it, where did that original idea come from of interference that he used for his paper?
The paper which originated from that examined conflict with the hold on.
All right, well, while he's looking that up, it's the original idea. That's the point you want to get across. You're not taking credit for the original idea. Diddy owes Sting from the Police $2,000 a day because he used the song "Every Breath You Take" without his permission. So all his royalties go to Sting, all of them, and all he used was just a few seconds of the song. We had a copyright strike on YouTube, and if you get too many copyright strikes, they actually close your channel down. Can you believe that?
What?
If you get too many copyright strikes, they can close your channel down.
On what?
YouTube.
Oh, yeah, but everybody does copyright, so it's not really effective.
But they can do it at any moment, so you just don't do it.
Well, but I'm saying, like, it's been going on for years. Copyright. Just different YouTubers doing the same thing, copying others. Even they try getting like sued, but it doesn't work.
So, have you looked at the origination of the word interference? James Cattell?
James Cattell?
Okay, never mind. I'll look it up on the break and I'll get it because you can't find it.
You told me to look up.
Yeah, I did. And
Interference in Mind magazine, 1935, right?
And then I said, yeah.
And where did he get this idea from?
Right.
He, as in J.R. Stroop.
Yes.
Yeah, nothing.
Okay, I'll look it up. So anyway, going back to those heat shields, you guys. We've talked about those things where you can get burned, the pitfalls you're going to fall into. And now we're going to talk about the heat shields that help you protect yourself from getting burned in our segment called Heat Shields.
Protect yourself with resources. Here are your heat shields. The Purdue Online Writing Lab, or OWL, is the go-to source for citation guides. Your campus writing center is your best friend. Your university's research librarians and your professor's office hours are also there to help. The shields are up. What's next, Murph Man?
Yes. So it's one of those things you really have to think about. Okay, let's look at this. The Purdue Online Writing Lab, or OWL. What does OWL stand for?
Sorry, I'm just blank.
Online Writing Lab.
Yeah.
All right. Your campus writing center or your teachers. You can go to your teachers and say, I need help with this. How are my citations done? Like, one thing I did tell you, Connor, was you need to go visit your teachers. Did you go visit teachers at all?
Not all of them, but
you did.
Some, yeah.
Went to your advisors?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was cool. I like my advisor.
All right. You want to keep contact with all those people, but you can also go and say, I need help with this. How do I get help? And then before you know it, you do it. So be aware of that. You also want to go to your librarian and say, I need help writing a paper on this. Where do I go? And then they'll say, you go here, and then you find the information you need. So it's one of those things that when you're looking for information, you want to try to get the original idea, where you got it from. Like I said, when you're writing jokes, right? Where does it come from? How many times have we stolen jokes from people? We all the time.
A lot.
But if you're trying to be a professional, you got to give credit where credit is due. And that's one of those things that we got to be careful with. Okay. So let's look back on what we learned today in our segment called The Afterburn.
Your integrity is your currency. Here are some questions for reflection. What does academic integrity mean to me personally? How can I manage my time and workload to avoid the panic that can lead to bad decisions? What campus resources, like the Writing Center, are available to help me? Reflection complete. Murph-man, time for your final thoughts.
don't know why.
All right.
All right.
So we've been live the whole time, I guess. That was weird. It kicked out my camera. We thought it kicked us out of the stream.
Yeah, no, it was just your camera. That's what I thought. We're back.
We thought we got kicked out of the stream, and turns out it was just the camera that got kicked. I don't understand. I apologize for that. Anyway,
back with the show.
So I'll tell you what, you guys.
Let's take
Let's go take a quick break.
No, we already take a break, technically.
Well,
do you want to take another break?
Yeah, I'm gonna play the next break in line. Ready?
Complicates and shakes you, consumes all that makes you deep inside your bones. In a moment, choose the things you want and remember who you are and who you want to be. An anonymous dream can call deep inside your soul. Let it came with love and splendor, everything you owned. It's right there for us. Just take a chance. How does it feel to fall forever? Don't you know I'm not afraid to take it as it comes. How does it feel to fall forever? Don't you know I'm not afraid, just desperately in love. Moments we become absorbent, open to all currents of electricity. An anonymous dream can call it deep inside your soul. Let it came with love and splendor, everything you owned. It's right here for us. Just take a chance. How does it feel to fall forever? Don't you know I'm not afraid to take it as it comes. How does it feel to fall forever? Don't you know I'm not afraid, just desperately in love. Take my hand into the further. Let's go and fall forever. You take my hand into the further. Let's go and fall forever. How does it feel to fall forever? Don't you know I'm not afraid to take it as it comes. How does it feel to fall forever? Don't you know I'm not afraid, just desperately in love.
I do want to point out before we get back to the actual show, you guys, is again, we're live right now on YouTube and Twitch, as well as Military Broadcast Radio, and all our replays and behind the scenes content and anything new coming up is going to be there on stream915.com. And now remember, if I get to 1,000 followers, my 1,000th follower will get free 2 months to Stream 915. Okay, I will do that definitely. So let's see if anyone gets it. But let's go to our next segment called The Digital Inferno.
Your best mediator is an app. Modern tools create new integrity challenges, but also new solutions. Use citation management software like Zotero or Mendeley to automatically track and format your sources, drastically reducing accidental plagiarism. Treat the plagiarism checker as your first line of defense, not a risk to cheat. Run your draft through it before submission to catch errors. The Inferno is digital. Back to Murph Man to close the segment.
All right, so the best mediator is an app. Modern tools create new integrity challenges, but also new solutions. You can go into your app and you can say, how good does this sound? Or does this sound like AI or what, right? What suggestions do you have to change it? You can use Zotero or Mendeley to automatically track and format your sources. That is so interesting because you can actually type it in there and say, what do I need? It'll give you a list of resources. That's what they're there for. You know, and then of course, the plagiarism checker as your first line of defense. You want to make sure you're in there checking it out and understanding what's going on. In the Digital Inferno, we talk about AI and all the technology that's associated with whatever we're doing today. But the first thing I want to talk about is student email addresses. Okay. How many times have I asked you to, hey, did you know you can get Perplexity for free? Or did you know you can get Peacock for a discount or Prime for a discount or whatever the case may be, right?
Well, yeah. Not discount, but it's like a...
Or sometimes free trials and everything, yeah.
Well, it's like the same thing, but I just pay a little bit less cheaper.
Right.
But I mean, I guess you could say it's a discount, but it might go back to the original like later on after like 3 months or so.
6 months for Prime. But like, for example, this is what I was going to tell you. What if you go and sign up for AI? Okay. And you get information about your work. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here. Because today I got an email from support. Flowmatic workflow added. This is an AI program that I'm creating workflows. It's automating my stuff. I got an email about it. What's the big deal about that? Well, the colleges have access to your student email. It is their email and they can access it anytime. So if you're sending letters to each other, messages and saying, hey, I found this, cheat here, copy this, use my paper, whatever, the college can actually review your email and kick you out of the school. See his face? I told him I wanted to get his reaction live on that. Okay. If you're sending inappropriate messages to each other, I hope not, right?
No.
But
that's on Instagram.
All right. Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right. But if you're, what's the word I'm looking for? Using your student email and you have AI prompts sending you stuff.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
That's not on mine, right?
What?
My email, the workflow?
No.
Okay.
No.
Oof. Yeesh.
No, that's my personal email.
I was like,
what I'm telling you is if you go into AI and work on something, it sends you this notification that you're working on it. Okay. Now, over the Thanksgiving break and Black Friday, Cyber Monday, I bought a bunch of AI stuff. Some of which I don't even need.
But
it's a lifetime deal, so I'm gonna have it forever, quote unquote. And I'm using it right now, but I'm not using it as much as I will a year from now. Or June or whenever my other stuff renews. But one of the things I did buy was this thing called Pixa AI. And it's supposed to be, it's like the Gemini, the Galaxy AI. You've seen all the ads for it? Galaxy AI?
Yeah.
It's all over the place. That one's $399 to get premium AI stuff, all the searches and everything. $400 for a lifetime deal. I bought Pixa. Cost me $150. And it gives me video creation, image creation, AI avatars. It gives me several things that I use for lifetime now. And it includes updates. You know, I gave my friend access to it, Joel. And I told Joel, hey, check this out. Try it out. Because it costs money. But it's actually made for teams to work together. So that workflow sends me an email that this is what I'm creating. But I could also have him added into it. So to work as a team, let everyone know. So technology can work together or against you. And in college, if you think about the whole plagiarism and AI thing, you have emails. And those emails are college property. So careful what you write in your email. Now, I didn't tell you this, but did you ever think about that? No, right?
No.
So it's one of those things where you ask yourself, like, was it something I should not done? You know, you're not a cheater. You might take shortcuts and stuff, but I've always told you, do your own work, because if you start using shortcuts, you're not going to have the knowledge of doing it. And you've done pretty well with that, as far as I know. You know, because I do have access to the emails that we use, because I sign up for it too. Because I'm a teacher, I get some of the stuff for free. So I know when I get emails from certain things, I'm like, okay, Connor's getting the same thing as well.
Yeah.
So if you do something stupid, it'll pop up on your email. So be careful with that. So your college emails are college property. Do not send each other stuff and cheat on there. Be smart about it. I don't know how else to say it. I think that pretty much says it all, right, Connor?
Yeah.
You know. What?
Nothing.
You learned something for next semester, right?
Yeah. I didn't even cheat. It was just because I forgot to do an assignment like in the beginning of the semester, and I told my friend, I was like, can you send me what the like worksheet was so that I could do my own? Because it was an individual thing. So he sent it, and I was like, oh, that's what it was. I'm like, okay, I have that.
Okay,
but I submit my own thing though.
Right. Yeah. See, that's the difference.
Okay. Then I'm like, do they? But I'm like,
they can.
Right? They could look at Blackboard and see what I submit though in the class.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
I'm like, it's not the same thing. I mean,
it was funny.
Come on now.
As a teacher, I get evaluated every few years, and they come into my class and they actually can read everything I've done in my class. They can see if I've logged in or not logged in. They can see if I've read the emails, you know what I mean? So it's like, you got to really be on top of stuff, because you never know when they're going to come in and check your stuff. You know, people don't realize that. Oh, but anyway, you know, the plagiarism checker is one of those things you can use if you want to.
I say use it,
but don't use too much. And I'm going to show you something here, Connor. Let me.
Ooh, sorry.
Let me show my. I want you to tell them what you're seeing. Okay.
With what?
I'm going to show you. Give me a sec. Okay. This is something that I use every now and then when I'm reading papers and I want to know, is this person cheating or not, or whatever. Don't read the name, but right next to it, it says what?
How many words? 455 words, 90% AI work. Damn.
Okay. I can actually put in the student's reply and say, there's a minimum word count, like 750, 500, whatever the assignment is, right?
Yeah.
And then ask it how much % is AI. And it literally tells me right there, you see it. I can copy and paste that and put it into the reply for the student. And pretty much say, show me your work, if I wanted to.
Well, how are you going to show work on a paper?
Well, in other words, like, you got to call me and explain to me how you came up with it.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's how I use AI as a teacher. I go type it in there and I say, what are you seeing? And it tells me.
Words.
You know, now on Microsoft Word, you can copy. I used to copy and paste into Microsoft Word, and they would tell me there's 255 words on it. Okay. Because I'm not going to sit there and go 1, 2, 3. And after you've been doing it for 25 years, you know how long a paper should be. you have a response, but it literally tells me it's 90% AI, and I just copy and paste that and put it into the guy's response and be like, guess what? No credit. And how can they argue with me if it literally says 90% AI?
What do you trust AI to say? What's AI?
Yes, I do. Because let me show you something else on this one. There's certain things that happen when you do AI. Okay, let me see if I can do it here, so you can see what happens, Connor. If I were to copy AI into a document, put a new document. Where am I? Okay, I don't know if you can see that. Okay. Well,
it looks like you just typed a paragraph on Word. Yeah.
No, hold on. That's not what I want to show you.
I'm just saying it for the people.
So you see how that is all there, right? Now, if I go and paste it differently, look. All right, it doesn't do anything.
Okay.
But when you paste it a certain way, and let me show you another one here.
I still don't know what you're talking about.
I'm going to show you.
But okay.
Let me see if I can find a better example here. Okay. All right, here. Let me get back to my Word document. All right, watch this. When I paste this in here, what do you see different?
Different type of formatting with lines, bullet points, headers.
It highlights it in bold, all the certain points that I want to make. All right. So when I see someone copy and paste this into their document and it has certain things bolded, that's a big red flag for me. It's sort of like I'm teaching people how to cheat using AI.
Well, but even then, it's like you could paste it, and if it bold or anything, you could just select all in clear formatting, and it deletes everything.
Or you can also go in there and just type in text only.
No, because even text, it would be bold and highlighted.
It's not, look.
Well, okay. Well, but even then, if you don't want that formatting, you just do clear formatting and it just...
Right.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it literally tells the person reading it that this is AI. And there's another thing called an M dash. It's a longer dash, right? And that's AI written as well. So there's all these little things that the system looks for to say this is AI or not AI. Okay. So just visually, just seeing a paper written to me, I can go AI or not. Then I can put it into my system that's already pre-programmed to say this is how much AI is written. It's so helpful. Okay, it's so helpful. Now, sometimes we're talking about, I want to write something back to the student, so I'll read their paper, and then as I'm reading the paper with my eyes, I'm talking with my mouth, and it's writing my notes for me. So I can literally go, like, for example, before we wrap up here, here's a reminder, and then I'll say something like in my head, right? I'm reading that, and I'll be like, oh, okay, that's a good beginning. And then it literally is typing it out for me. So I don't have to type. Is that cheating? No, because it's coming out of my brain. Yeah. The original idea, right? But that's the whole thing. You want to be very, very careful what you do and how you use it. And I'm not saying don't use AI, because I am a huge proponent of AI.
Just be smart with it.
Be smart with it. And the security of your student email.
Yeah.
Your face when I said that. People don't realize that. I
literally did that Thursday.
What's that?
I did that Thursday.
Well,
that's how I was like,
my coworker and I, we text each other, right? We are in the same room. We can talk to each other, but we'll text each other. And we have a text at work,
like a
chat,
or
or our cell phones. And sometimes we see something on the screen, like we're in a group meeting, and we see someone like dressed in pajamas, right? So we'll take a screenshot of it with our phone, and then we'll send it to each other and be like, "Did you see this person dressed in pajamas?" Right?
Yeah. Did you see this person dressed up as the Grinch?
No. Well, the first Christmas I was there, I started in January, right after Christmas. So the first Christmas I was at this new school, I put on my Grinch hat, went to my meeting, I just stood there, on Zoom like you do, right? And I had this big old Grinch head on me. And I'm like, I could pull that up right now and share it. Should I?
I was gonna do it anyways to Streamlabs. I was gonna get my phone just.
Well, okay, hold on. So I sat there and just looked at the what's it called? Oh my God, I lost train of thought because. Oh, so I just put the hat on. I didn't say anything to anybody. I just literally put my hat on, and the person that's in charge was our director. She comes over and she's like, before she comes on screen, because she wants to wish everybody a happy birthday or whatnot, right? She what's it called? She let me do it. Hold on.
It was right there.
Oh yeah, but I'm trying to make this bigger. All right, let me share this with everyone here.
Everyone, just StreamYard.
Oh yeah. So I'm sitting in my team meeting, wearing the hat with nothing. It's not a hat, it's a big head. Okay, it's a big head. Let me show you guys.
There's nothing on StreamYard.
Look at StreamYard.
Oh. Yeah, there's nothing. It's there.
There it is.
Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah.
There it is. Sorry about that. Thank you for catching that.
Welcome. I was like, I wanted to see it.
So I'm sitting there in this meeting with that big head on my, big costume head on myself. And the director comes on, all serious and everything, trying to wish everyone a Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays or whatever. And she starts laughing because, there's 200 people in the meeting. What are the odds I want to be on her screen, right? It's like, time out. Before we do anything, I need y'all to go to his page and check out what he's wearing. And yeah, so just stupidity, right? That's what it is. But Thanksgiving, I have a Thanksgiving hat, stuff like that. For the Christmas episodes, I have my Santa hat and my snowman hat. And
God.
So I'll be coming back from break with those on.
No, because Thanksgiving we were gonna do
the Thanksgiving has the turkey hats.
Yeah, but we didn't do them.
We did not do them. You're right. So, but anyway, I'm not talking about that. Oh, because they have access to your emails. So we
have a thread on the phone, and
yeah, if you want us to point out something stupid, like look at her, looks like she's hungover, that kind of stuff, right? We'll message each other on our phone, not on the official office email. And one time he messaged something to me, and then my boss messaged me and said, I need to talk to you. And I went to go talk to her, and it was a completely different reason she was talking to me. But what are the odds that they read a message? You know what I mean? Well, they don't really go and actively monitor unless they have to. But every now and then they can do a search of emails and be like looking for drugs, the word drugs, cocaine, whatever. And they can find it on the student emails. And that's how they can turn it over to the police. So be careful with your student emails and be responsible when you're using technology, you guys. Don't use it to cheat or anything. But we're going to take one last break and we'll come back with our final burn.
It's time for a break. Hot Takes with the Murph Man will return after these messages.
There's a hotel window, many floors above. What's missing down there is love. Thinking through the smoke that fills my mind. Don't worry, it's not my first time. Adios, amigo. So glad I seen you. I won't be seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town. They say it's all inside, heaven and hell. What happened to that angel when he fell? Give it just one try. Tell me you don't like it. Be God for a moment and don't despise it. Adios, amigo. So glad I seen you. I won't be seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town. Step outside and breathe. Play a little in the street. Hope it's not me they're sending. Move one from over there. Get the kids a little scared. Oh, these fences, they need mending. Adios, amigo. So glad I seen you. I won't be seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town. Adios, amigo. So glad I seen you. I won't be seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town.
Before we jump back in, a quick reminder of where to find us. For all the short clips and highlights, make sure you're following us on social media. You can find all the show details on our website, purehottakes.com. And for full show replays and exclusive premium content you won't hear anywhere else, be sure to subscribe at stream915.com.
And we're back for the final burn and the wrap-up of the show. So, Connor, out of everything we talked about today, what did you find most interesting?
That I don't know, really. I mean, all of it is interesting because it's nice to learn a few things here and there. But I think it was just the emails that really got me shook. I'm like, ooh.
When we went on a break, he looked at me and goes, "You suck."
Yeah, I was like, really?
Because I was telling him his face. And, you know, he's a good kid and doesn't do stuff like this. I'm not worried about it so much. But it was just the fact that, you know, you have access to it. It really does affect people. So the other thing is, what I liked about this episode for me was understanding that people do copy and they do plagiarize, and there's nothing wrong with it if you cite, right?
If you cite, if you use it for your own like thoughts, then I mean, I guess it's good,
right? So just remember, the original idea is what's more important than anything, and you want to be able to cite, SCITE, not SIHTT, CITE, cite everything, not C. When you cite it, you understand that, excuse me, when you cite it, you understand you're giving credit to someone else.
Yes.
Okay. In comedy, if I tell someone, hey, this joke was written by George Carlin, and then I tell the joke and everyone laughs, are they laughing at me or are they laughing at the joke he wrote?
Well, they're laughing at the joke he wrote, but to you because you're the one saying it to them.
But it's his work of art. So
well, but he's not there to say it though.
Yeah, he's dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
But by the way, speaking of George Carlin, Dogma, the 25th anniversary CD, DVD, Blu-ray disc with video commentary by Kevin Smith and Jay is out. If you haven't bought it yet, go buy it. It's running out and telling us selling out everywhere. I got my copy last night. That's what we're gonna watch tonight. He doesn't know that yet. You gotta watch Dogma. It's a fun movie. But anyway, one of the scenes in that movie is George Carlin is playing the bishop of this church, and he talks about he's trying to be more hip to the younger crowd, and he comes up with this new Jesus. And I showed you the Buddy Jesus.
Yeah.
If you don't know what Buddy Jesus is, look it up, you guys. That'll give you a little bit of a good laugh today. And before we wrap up, I want to have a reminder that Hot Takes with the Murphan is live every Saturday at 12 o'clock Eastern Time on Twitch and YouTube. You can find us at Pure Hot Takes. You can go to pureHotTakes.com. You can find our socials there as well. You'll find us on TikTok. Those of you who watched us today on TikTok, I appreciate it. Hope you guys found it interesting. I hope you were able to get something out of it as well. And next week, we're going to have a new studio. So make sure you do that. And with that new studio comes a lot more opportunities for us to do more content that you can only find on stream915.com. You cannot find that anywhere else. So be aware of that and understand that even though we're live here and we have this stuff on channels now, end of the year, Stream 915 is the only place you can be able to find the replays or our premium content or behind the scenes stuff. And I have some really, really cool stuff lined up for next year, you guys. It's going to be really cool. I can't wait. The studio's going to look really, really professional.
Yeah, it's going to have like neon lights. It's going to have what else?
Neon lights?
You wanted the, I'm talking about like the, like, you know, outside the bars, like open and close, like those type of lights.
Oh, the on-air lights.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
on air, yeah. And then like, yeah.
I don't have that one.
Well, you wanted it though. I know you
I
did.
got something else. And it's not my logo. It's not my logo. But I got something else. It's going to be so cool. But before we go, I want to go through our final burn segment. So one more thing, you guys.
The only grade that matters. The final take from today's discussion is, your integrity is worth more than any grade. Do your own work, give credit where it's due, and build a reputation you can be proud of. The final flame has been struck. Back to Murph Man to wrap the show.
All right, you guys. So do your own work. Be proud of your own work. Have some integrity. You know, it's more than, remember, it's that moral and ethical. Now, let me talk about ethics real quick, because we didn't really talk about that. But ethics are a set of rules by your organization. And when you follow them, you're ethical, right?
Yeah.
Now, there's good and there's bad, right? So let me ask you a question. Is it okay to break the rules for the right reason? For
Well-
example, let's say it's the end of the semester and you're behind one paper and you just cheat that one time just to be able to get it in and get you a good grade to pass. Is that okay? Is it okay?
No.
No, it's not, right? So just because you can justify it and make it good does not mean it works.
Yeah.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of our show for today. The fire's lit, and stay tuned for next week's changes. See you soon.
See ya.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.